We're live. I know we bounce back and forth between whether or not we're gonna do the stream or not. But yeah, we're gonna do it. I don't think there's too much left. So that's part of the reason why I'm gonna do it, even though I'm like tired. But I'm not like super duper tired. I somehow like gained a little bit of energy. I don't know how, but it happened. So, yeah, we'll do this, and, actually, you know what? Yeah, it looks like this is the last level, actually. Alright. Not sure when we should do the review in that case. Maybe we should do the review right away, then. Alternatively, I could do this challenge mode while I'm doing the review. Right, let me just see what this arena thing's all about. I'm kind of curious. Actually, you know what, I want to do the nightclub because this place is cool. This place Natasha. Alright. Let's see what this is all about. We'll just play it for a little bit. And let me just make sure we're not dropping any frames. Okay, that looks good. What is this? Oh, the guy's on my side, okay. Alright. Let's do a little review. Okay. Hold on. Before we do that, let me just turn down the volume just a little bit. Just to make sure. Alright, let's do a little review. So this game is fantastic. In fact, this might be the best beat-em-up I've played, or at least one of them. The other amazing beat-em-up that I can think of off the top of my head would be Dragon's Crown, which was made by Vanillaware. This one is more in line with classic beat-em-up games like Streets of Rage, whereas Dragon's Crown was more RPG focused, but still had beat-em-up style combat. Yeah, this is very heavily inspired by Final Fight, Streets of Rage, and also like maybe some Neo Geo beat-em-ups as well, like Mutation Nation. I love this game. It is so good. It doesn't feel repetitive, and that's one of the biggest problems with beat-em-ups, I think, is that it's very easy for them to become repetitive because you're just pounding, button mashing the whole time. The way this game avoids that is through the graphics, first of all, which are fantastic. Graphics in beat-em-ups are very important, more important than most people would like to give it credit for. The reason is because you are doing a repetitive action over and over again. Hey Cinnabon, I'm just doing a review. You are doing a repetitive thing over and over again. So having variety in the graphics, in the backgrounds, is so important. And I mean, just look at these graphics. They are so gritty, and there's so much violence, the blood. It's very satisfying, and the sprites are all really well detailed. The other way it gets around repetitiveness is through the combat system. The combat system is surprisingly deep. You have your normal attack, but you can also grab enemies and then pound away at them. And then you can also have this kick ability, which the kick ability basically allows you to get the enemy away from you if you get surrounded. And also, when you vary your attacks, you get a higher score. So like that's your in any kind of beat 'em up, you always want to ensure that you don't get surrounded. They don't get behind you. So the kick lets you get enemies away, and then you also have this really useful dodge ability, which you'll be using all the time, which can help you evade attacks and cancel out of combos too. Like that, right there. Cancels right out. And then kicks, you can do jump kicks, which can get enemies away, and also you can do like these other more advanced maneuvers. And it all comes together in a surprisingly deep combat system that I really like, and never feels cheap, and is highly skill focused too. The other thing I really like is how many weapons you can pick up. I love how you can you have guns in this game. I love guns in beat 'em ups because they're the great equalizer, and they're so fun to use. And in this game, you can even shoot heads off of enemies and stuff like that, and it's so satisfying. And then you have like chainsaws like this, and it's like just so gruesome and visceral. It's amazing. It's awesome. And also has like kind of an interesting story, even if the story itself is not it's kind of weird, a little hard to follow, but at least it's conveyed in like an interesting way, which is not something that you would expect to see in a beat 'em up. So I really like that too. So like I said before, I want to talk a little bit more about the graphics. One of the cool things is how the game tries to go for as few menu things as possible, in terms of status bars, like in most other beat 'em up games you'll have stuff like enemy health bars, which obscure the screen and take up room. This game tries to minimize that as much as possible, and it's able to convey how close you are to killing enemies through basically how beat up they look. As you progressively beat them up more and more, they have more battle damage. So it's able to convey that information in an intuitive and very cool looking way as well. It also handles health recovery in a very interesting way. It's very well balanced. You inject yourself with this drug, and then you can regain more of the drug by draining it from enemies. But when you're draining it from fallen enemies, you're leaving yourself open to attack. So there's a risk or reward system there, kind of similar in a sense to Dark Souls, and in that you leave yourself open and vulnerable to attack when you're trying to heal, and that's really cool. The other really cool thing about this game that I love are the bosses. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to see too many of the bosses during this review, but they are so creative. They aren't just grind fests like they are in other beat 'em up games like Final Fight. There's a strategy to killing them. One boss you have to knock into this meat grinder machine. Another boss is like a bear with a bullet, like a armored helmet. So you have to get to his back. You have to flank him and get around to the back in order to attack his weak spot. And other various kinds of interesting bosses that require more than just brute force in order to defeat. And I just love it. I love how creative the bosses are, because they aren't cheap, and they require a little bit of thinking in order to figure out how to beat them. I also really like the setting of the game. I like how it takes place in 1980s Russia. I like I like the locales, the different environments you go to. You can go to like these nightclubs. Here we're going to a nightclub here, and then there's like a strip club and stuff like that. They look so cool and interesting, and they remind me so much of some of the games I played on the Neo Geo. The game has a pretty interesting variety of characters you can play as, and you know, they have different strengths and weaknesses, good variety. They all play well, and that's the most important thing that I mentioned a little bit before, is that the combat. The combat feels good. You know, it has the right balance of a modern take on beat 'em ups with the variety of attacks that you have, combined with a classic retro feel. And it's a perfect combination that I love so much. So all in all, this game is one of the best beat 'em ups I have ever played. You know, this and Dragon's Crown are probably the best beat 'em ups that are out there. And it's a fantastic game, and I highly recommend anyone who's a fan of indies or a fan of classic beat 'em ups to check it out. And that's all I gotta say. Hey Churka, sorry I wasn't able to say hello to you right away. I was right in the middle of the review. I had to do it kind of quickly because we are actually on the last level here. I was just doing a little bit of this it's kind of like a cool game mode, which I forgot to mention in my review. Just kind of like an arena combat thing. Nathan the Hick and his friends got banished? What are you talking about? Cinnabon left. I don't know if Cinnabon's still here, but have a good night, Cinnabon. Really? Wow, that's fucked up. If you have an article to that, you can post it on the Discord. I'd be interested in checking it out. This guy's nice and fast. But he's weak. If you have an article to that, you can post it on Discord. That's really fucked up. That people would do such a thing. Alright, let's go back to the main game. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Alright, final level. Are you guys ready to rock? Hold on. This is normal, right? Normal, yes. Let's try as... Alright, let's play as Natasha. Bethesda wasn't doing anything about it? Wow. You know, I really hate it when companies don't intervene when there's clear bigots, racists. You know, these people, they need to be banned everywhere. There's no place for them in our society. Yeah, she's nice and speedy. No, banning them is not freedom of speech. Banning them is moral. Let's not mix up the two things. Free speech is not always moral. You can have unethical speech, like racism and fake news. Fake news is immoral. Damn it. There we go. Well, hopefully, those scum were properly dealt with. Look at that guy. The fat guy. I wish I talked more about the enemy design in my review, because it's so good. Wow. You know, actually, I might change my character because I think she's not that good. She's fast, but she's not that good. Alright, let's use Boris. How do you unlock all these things? Nope, I didn't see it. These gopniks. How do I get this guy? This guy... He's so fat, and his butt is exposed. Oh, wow. Posted a video of a guy who doesn't agree that they got banned for it. What do you mean? He doesn't agree that they should have been banned? Why would you want to post that video? I just wanted an article about the incident itself. Oh man. Maybe I should change to the heavy hitter guy. I'm not sure. Because this guy is pretty tough too. I mean, like, he's supposed to be the second strongest character. We don't need to see the viewpoint. We don't need to see the position of a bigot though. I mean, I don't. What's the point of that? I have no interest in what they have to say. I mean, both are things that are worthy of being banned. If you're trolling or if you're racist or if you're homophobic, they're the same, and both require the same response, being banned. Of course. You don't have a right to playing a video game. Your right to free speech does not extend to a video game. It only protects you from the government. We've had that discussion several times. There we go. There we go. Good. Okay, good. I don't understand the logic. How does it, being a post-apocalyptic role-playing game, have anything to do with being bigoted and offensive and harassing people online? Homophobia and bigotry. Yeah, I don't understand the logic. Even if you were playing a video game that includes racism and bigotry, that doesn't give you the green light to do that in an online setting. Those two aren't logically connected. I like how he bashes his head in with the... There we go. Look at his face. He's so dead. You dead yet? There we go. Now he's dead. Damn it. But that's within the context of the game. that's where we separate fiction from reality. And well, I mean, there's two problems with that argument. First of all, even assuming if the game contained racist or homophobic characters, that is within the context of the movie or the game. That does not translate then over to saying an endorsement of that kind of behavior. In fact, video game developers and publishers have always stressed that it is fantasy. I'm playing a video game in which you're killing people, you're punching and killing people. That does not mean that it is then okay to roleplay killing people. You see the difference? This is a fantasy. You can also have fantasy sex acts where there's implied or rape. Well, I shouldn't say rape, like fantasy rape. You can have porn, which is fantasy rape, but it's consensual. But it is a fantasy. That does not then make it okay to do that in real life. And to do it with people who are not giving consent. Okay? Like, if you're acting out like a little skit with your friends, and you guys are like doing some kind of role-playing thing, they are giving consent to do it with you. Harassing people online lacks that element of consent. That you're not giving consent to do these things. You're just trying to play the game, which has nothing to do with this manner of role-playing. Okay? Like, it sounds very much like an equivocation fallacy, because a role-playing game does not mean you are actually role-playing. Furthermore, the Fallout games were never about racism or homophobia. In fact, I can't even think of a single instance of either of those happening in the games. And I played Fallout 1, 2, and 3. There's nothing like that in those games. These bigots are reaching for excuses to rationalize the racist behavior, the bigoted racist behavior of a bunch of trolls, and it's wrong to use that as an argument to defend them. It shouldn't even need, like, I find it ridiculous, patently absurd, that anyone even would use this as an argument. And I have no interest in seeing that guy's video. It's not the video I wanted to see, you to post on the Discord either. I just wanted an article about the incident. Yes, it is allowed to kill each other for any reason besides homophobia. Shurtka, I'm kind of confused about your position. Are you saying that you think it's okay for them to do this? I mean, like, it sounds like you're contradicting your position before. I mean, I didn't even know that this was a thing. And now I don't know if you're taking a devil's advocate approach. I'm not interested in watching it. I have zero interest in watching a video advocating that this kind of behavior is right. It's not right. It's not a matter of a different point of view. It's a matter of being intolerant to bigotry. You're one of us. Word of advice for you. Don't let it control you. Just want to run away before you end up like me. What the hell? Oh shit. Wow. And bed. Oh man. That's crazy. So then you understand that what they're doing is unacceptable behavior and that we should be wholly intolerant to it and they should be banned for it. We don't need to watch some idiot on yet another bigoted idiot on YouTube um, that believes in that position. I don't see the value in that. I really don't know what the point is of a devil's advocate position of a bigoted position. What's the point? We already know it's wrong. Whoa, that was close. Out of the way, losers. Absolutely, they should. It's not gonna open up. I mean, like, I don't know everything about Fallout 76. I believe PvP is part of the game, but you can't shout homophobic or racist slurs, obviously. That's not permissible. Anyone with a modicum of common sense already understands this. If they need it explained to them, then they shouldn't be on the internet in the first place. Like, how did they get access to the internet if they don't understand that? You know, the fact that they don't do that kind of stuff in real life, that should clue them in as to the abhorrence. If you rule of thumb is, if you wouldn't do this to someone's face, you're not allowed to do it. Like, the game kind of glitches out at this point because he keeps on trying to do a charged attack, even though I'm not holding down the button. He's like, he does that charged attack every time. It's not about freedom of speech, Dragoon. I discussed this already. It's not a free speech issue. Oh, man. Free speech is totally irrelevant in this scenario. Free speech protects you from the government. It does not protect you from a video game. It does not protect you from being banned from a website. On any website you go to that has basic human decency, they already banned those things. Why? I can't open up this one. That third one. That's what's causing all the problems. Okay. Sometimes I'm not even sure if I am punching the right spot. Oh, go, go, go! Whew. Damn, that was close. Good. Those fat guys are... They look so nasty. Whoops. They like laughing at me. There we go. Good. They're pretty nasty guys. Whoa, shit. Look at this. I love the guns. You play any beat 'em up games, Dragoon? You ever play Streets of Rage or Final Fight? Ah, shit. Street Fighter is a fighting game. It's different. You have beat 'em ups, which are like this, where the screen scrolls and you have fewer moves. You just have punching and like a heavy attack. Whereas like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, those are fighting games. There's a difference. TMNT, Hyperstone Heist, and also Turtles in Time, those are beat 'em ups. Power Rangers. I think that was a beat 'em up. I can't remember. It was probably a fighting game too. Oh shit. Final Fight is definitely a beat 'em up. I love how like each area has... Double Dragon's good. What'd you play Double Dragon on? Golden Axes, yeah. NES version is good, yeah. Battletoads is kind of a beat 'em up. It's like a platformer, a little bit of a platform, a little bit of beat 'em up. Oh man, so many. Oh man. Battle Maniacs? I don't know about Battle Maniacs. Never heard of that. Oh man, that thing does so much damage. Did you ever play River City Ransom on the NES? There was a really good Dungeons and Dragons beat 'em up on the arcade. That got ports on the Xbox 360 and PS3 too, I believe. You can also play it on MAME. Those had really, really good graphics. Oh, there was also a Simpsons beat 'em up too in the arcades. That was actually like surprisingly it was surprisingly good. Like it wasn't great, like it was weird and didn't make any sense, but still kind of neat. There was also Aliens vs. Predator. That's really good. Man, these guys don't give up. Okay, finally. What else was there? I think Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. That was an arcade beat 'em up. That was really good. Oh, look at this. This looks cool. He always laughs at me. This fucking asshole. The only way to reliably kill this guy, though, is like with the... You need a weapon. Or actually, yeah, you can, the other way of getting him is you can knock him to the ground. You have to throw someone at him. Knock him to the ground and then pummel him when he's on the ground. Like that. Punches you in the gut. Whoops. Wrong button. Alright. Which Batman? There were a couple. There was Batman Forever, which is a beat 'em up. A lot of people don't like it. I actually kind of like it. Sort of. How do I kill this guy now? Okay, there we go. Like that. Okay. You have to do kind of like a dodge grab. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like Batman Forever on the Genesis and SNES, but I thought it was like I thought it was actually good, but like too hard. Like if they just could balance out the difficulty a little bit more, I think it could have been good. Batman Returns. There was also Batman Animated Series. What the fuck? Our whores just took advantage of your little operation and ran off. Look at these fat fucks. When's the last time you saw your own dick? Oh, they don't like that. Lots of weapons. Needs more range though. We need a weapon with more range. Good. Batman Animated Series for Genesis had great graphics, but way too hard. It had very, very smooth graphics. Would have been great if they balanced the difficulty a little bit better. Like, this game has perfect difficulty balance, you know? It has a good combination of really powerful weapons. What the fuck? You know you know you're my favorite, right? Oh, you can't be serious. Guards! Look at all the blood on the bed. They were up to some really fucked up shit. Oh no. I gotta fight these guys again? Damn it. Just one hit does so much, but you can get like 2 hits in. What's your question? Oh, that's good. There we go. I can't quite reach it. Damn it. Oh well. Does it release lots of energy? Yeah, of course. If it explodes. Oh man, how the fuck did that happen? I mean, energy density of batteries is less than other materials that store energy. Like, for example, human fat stores a lot more energy, believe it or not. But it's not in a volatile form, meaning it doesn't explode unless you basically process it into dynamite, which means you have to mix it with nitric acid. Yeah, if you mix animal fat with nitric acid, you can make nitroglycerin, which is much more, well, which is extremely volatile. Okay. What the fuck? Vegetable fat? I'm not a chemist or an explosive expert. You need to combine glycerin with nitric acid. So if vegetable fat is glycerin, then it should work still. But I don't know. You can even see the reflection. That's so cool. There we go. That went well. No damage. Okay, this knocks them to the ground, so that's good. There we go. All right. Give me the gun! If you get stabbed with the gun, it's like a death sentence. There we go. Alright, good. We made it past it. Oh, nice. Sword. Give me the sword. Oh, nice. Oh, this is so good. When does Putin appear? Back in the 1980s, I think Putin was part of the KGB. This game takes place in 1986. So I guess he might be the final boss or something, I don't know. I'm not a Putin expert. Nilavani knows more about him than I do. Oh, look at that. You know those fat guys that their name is Boris. You know that, right? Any fat Russian guy, his name is always Boris. There we go. Ah, shit. No. Oh, I love this weapon. This is so good. Oh, that's so good. Wow, you can actually pick up the fat guy's head and chuck it around. That's kind of funny. Yeah, Putin was a communist back then. Supposedly, or at least he said he was. Who knows what he really was, right? This is the final boss. Finally. Trap the little rabbit in his cage. Alright, take it easy. I'm sure we can find common ground. We're beyond bargaining, pal. I want answers. Can you be a bit more specific? Oh, I forgot to turn up the volume after I turned it down. I don't know if you guys could hear it. It was probably a little bit too quiet. Alright, I turned it up. Can you be a bit more specific? Everything. The abductions, the lab experiments, Necro. I want you to break this shit down for me. I don't have time to give you a lesson in political economics. I got all the time in the world. Up to you. You can discuss this calmly or with the screams of pain. The Bratva is as much a thorn in my side as it is in yours. They've got us by the short and curlies. That is, we took part in certain illicit dealings under duress. We don't negotiate with these people. What would you know anyway, coming from a simple Roma camp? I tell you, I was forced to fund the labs, the production, the volunteer recruitment efforts. I was led to believe that Necro was simply a synthetic chemical, cheap to produce and potentially highly profitable. I don't know anything more than that, honest. I'm a politician, not a mobster. You got the wrong person. I think I have just the right person. A friend of mine made me realize who's actually to blame for all this. Once you fall, the Bratva will lose their cover. The whole house of cards will fall apart. And then what? Huh? You go back to your cruddy gypsy camp and starve to death. Think about this, kid. You're fighting an uphill battle. Look at him cowering. Who's coming in? Dog, man, takes 1,000,000 hits. When is he gonna die? Wow, instant kill. Maybe I need to jump onto that ladder. Okay. You just have to keep knocking him off. Almost got him. Okay, good. Oh, damn it, I forgot. Wasn't keeping track of him. There we go. Go, go. We got him? Goddamn screw-ups. Restart the operation. Restart. They'll come after me. It's over, Boris Yeltsin. Take it easy. Right trigger plus B to do a fatality. Oh, you can only do it in berserk mode? Okay. That fucking thing. Necro. Need more Necro. Hey, X-Infected. You came right in time for the final boss. Won't let you win. Those little slug enemies, they remind me of the enemies from Contra, actually. With the teeth, you know? Damn it. Putin tried to be accepted by the West. But we need an enemy. Well, he's accepted by Drumpf, though. Drumpf loves Putin. Just chuck him into the flesh wall there. Chuck him into both sides. Going nuts. This is bad. Get out of the way, man. Did I make it? Wow. It's like a nightmare. Can't seem to snap out of it. I don't want to die here, not now. What the fuck? What is this? This is weird. I don't know what to do here. But I'm about to die. I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to do something? Please restart me right before this. It's gonna be the wall, isn't it? I knew it. That was a much better cycle. Okay, the question is, what do I do here? Okay, okay. We need to punch these things. But they do a ton of damage. dead. Big boss man's coming out now. He's gonna kill me. Whoa. Jeez, I'm gonna die. No! I gotta go through all that again? Please, no. Yep, I do. Almost. Got it. Brexit contract is already nothing like unconditional surrender and still not enough. They really want to humiliate them. What are you talking about, jerky boy? Oh shit. Shit, I hate when you keep fucking me like that. Controls are all messed up when he does this attack. No! How did that happen? What? New form. He's going nuts. No. Did I do it? Holy shit. That was so fucking hard. Oh man. Look at all the blood. Ugh. You're alive. Vlad, I took too much necro. After everything you did to make it this far. How can you go on putting this shit in your body? Help me. It's killing me. Too late for that. Thank you, Turkey Boy. All the roads are blocked off. Even though I've caught for an ambulance, they never make it in time. I'm begging you. He's just gonna do nothing. Hey, we can't help you. It's too late. Thank you, X-Infected. Rest in peace, comrade. I'll never forget who you were, what you did. And I'll keep the fight going to put this country back together. Thank you, Dragoon. Look at what happened to this guy. Both of his hands were impaled with knives. And that's it. That was Mother Russia Bleeds. Well, I love the game. What did everyone think of this game, though? What'd you guys think of it? I thought it was fantastic. I already did it. Looks like it took us an hour to beat the last mission. Any reviews? Any thoughts after watching the stream? Is anyone interested in checking out the game for themselves? Awesome graphics. Yeah, I love the graphics. Gameplay is awesome. It's just a fantastic game. This and Dragon's Crown are probably the best beat-em-ups ever created, honestly. And that's it. And even after you beat the story mode, there's still this arena mode, which is, you know, you just kind of like, you can go to the different stages that you fought in. Necro Dimension. How do you unlock this? Probably gotta unlock it from playing through all of these arena stages. But yeah, you can basically, you know, just do like these arena fights in all the different stages that you fought in. It's pretty cool. You know, and also this has multiplayer, so you can play with your friends. Up to 4 players, I think. Yeah, I think you can play up to 4 players, maybe even 5. Alright, so that is it. Saved a lot of Gopniks from long-term liver damage. You know, I actually think, because they keep calling me a gypsy. I think the characters that we play as, I think they might be Romani people, or at least maybe some of them are Romani. Anyway, yeah. So that is it for tonight. So I talked to Nilavani. Nilavani said she will be back during the holiday week. So, for now we'll be just doing more indies, more games like this. Personally, I'm loving these games. I think these games are so good. I have yet to play an indie game that sucked, Not a single indie game that we've streamed was bad. They've all been amazing games. So I have no problem with streaming, another great indie game tomorrow. So, I'll find something. It'll either be an indie or maybe like maybe another short game. We'll see. So that's it for tonight. I want to thank everyone for streaming with me. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure. And we will be streaming a new game tomorrow. So have a good night, everyone. Bye.